This is Down to the Wire 513.
Everybody else can shut up. It is time.
Ooh, Fly Man Ring.
Back in the building, man.
Yo, we in the building, we back.
Make sure y'all follow us on everything Down to the Wire 513. Yo, Down to the Wire 513 Sports and Spirits Friday. Happy Friday, good brother.
Happy Friday, brother. Back in the building, man. It's like over a third week in a row, ain't it? Second week in a row? Almost third week in a row.
Oh, yeah. I can't look. Well,
Might be 3 weeks in a row, man. But
too many spirits right now. I know we did last week.
if we did it last week, I think it's 3 weeks in a row. So we back in the building, man. It ain't too busy in sports, but we're trying to get busy here in sports. So, man, it's been a long week. How you feeling, brother?
Like you said, it's been a long week, ready for the weekend, man. We're just ready for some rest and relaxation, man. A little R&R.
Ready to recoup.
Yes, sir. Watched a lot of college basketball this weekend. That's all on my agenda for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be a good weekend. Almost March Madness, so games starting to mean a little bit more. College basketball starting to pick up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing some good performances out there. Seeing some bad performances out there for some good teams, like my team. Unfortunately, Tar Heels are not doing good this year, man. Story for a different day, though.
Yeah, man. But you did say some people are putting up good performances, and our lead story, a guy who put up a great performance, one of the performers of the year in college basketball,
For sure.
Brandon Miller, the Alabama star freshman. He dropped 41. He dropped 41 Wednesday night in an overtime win against South Carolina, including the game winner. Unfortunately, that's not the headline though. He's been his name has been dragged all throughout the media regarding a homicide that happened back in January. A poor woman and her child, right, lost her life.
I think the child's still alive, but the woman did. The child was present, I believe. But yeah, the woman was shot and killed in the incident. I think it was January 21st, January 15th. Some one of the days in January. And the police reported Wednesday, I think, day of this game that he dropped 41. Police reported in testimony, I think, or in the courts, stated that Brandon Miller brought the gun to the scene, reportedly unknowingly. His lawyer said unknowingly brought the gun to the scene. Then within seconds, they said that's when everything else happened. Once he got to the scene with the weapon concealed in the car in the backseat under some clothes. Again, reportedly, he didn't know the weapon was there. This is a crazy story, man. Sad, tragic story. So first, I do want to say, like you said, prayers and blessings to that young woman's family, and condolences, our deepest condolences. It's crazy, man. Tragic.
Yeah, man. All because of a guy's ego got hurt, bro. Like that's all this is, bro.
Yeah.
She wouldn't talk to him. He got mad, but still, bro, you get that mad because the girl ain't gonna talk to you, so you got to kill her. Like, come on, bro. Like,
it's never that serious,
at all.
Never that serious. You're a D1 athlete on a college campus. I'm sure, you just young woman, another young woman out there you could probably hollered at, you know what I'm saying? So it's not worth it, man. It wasn't worth her life, wasn't worth now your freedom. Just a stupid decision, man.
Dumb decision that you better pay with for the rest of your life, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, Brandon Miller, like I said, star player for Alabama, man. Like I said, he's been connected to it. Not charged with anything. I honestly, I don't think he should have known, especially if he didn't know. I couldn't find a text message, so I'm paraphrasing. But basically, I know Davis asked him to first asked him to pick him up from the club, and then something happened in between when he asked him to pick him up. He said, "Then bring me my gun," like you said. So he's knew that he asked for a gun. He requested a gun, but the thing is, he never physically touched the gun, never handed it to him. So he brought, like I said, he brought it to him. But
unknowingly, reportedly, and so I mean, apparently, if the story goes, I haven't seen the text messages. Messages haven't heard any parts of the story from anybody involved. But the way I'm hearing is going from other parties is like he was on the way to pick him up from the club, and then he sent the other text saying bring the gun, but he was already en route to the club to pick him up. Again, didn't know the gun was in the car. He got there, didn't even hand him the gun. The guy just knew his gun was in his car. Most likely, he figured, hey, if he got my car, the gun's in there. Let me go ahead and get it. Grabbed it out of the car, and then guys start shooting. Apparently, there's video evidence here as well. So, it's a lot. It's a lot, man.
It says Miles brought his handgun and left it under some clothing in the backseat of Miller's car. So Miles brought the gun and left it in Miller's car.
Okay.
It said Miller, and this is according to a statement by his attorney. He said Miller never saw the handgun nor handled it. So,
man, he's very fortunate that this case is not taking place in a different state, anywhere in the north. He'd be done. He'd be done. Even if he didn't know possibly what was going to happen. The fact that gun was it was his vehicle. It was Brandon Miller's vehicle. Oh yeah, he'd be done, bro. Man, he'd be done if it was, especially like in somewhere like New York or something like that. Oh, it'd be a wrap, bro. He lucky this has happened somewhere in the South, where hopefully he's not involved in this anyway. The cops say he's not a suspect. He's cooperating witness right now.
Yeah.
So, but it's luckily this happened somewhere in the South where gun laws are a little bit more laxed. Because this happened anywhere where gun laws are a lot more strict, he would be going down for this as well.
Well, the thing is, I mean, obviously the gun, like I said, the gun was registered. It was registered to Davis, so it was his gun. But like you said, it's all about intent. Like I said, if he didn't know, if I don't know, is in his car. Like I said, luckily he didn't get pulled over on his way
way there. Yeah. That would have been crazy.
So that's the thing, man. It's just all about what Miller knew, and from everything I read, from what his attorney saying, it seemed like Miller didn't know, one, that the gun was in the car, two, that Davis was going to shoot somebody. And I think that's what's saving him, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you could charge Miller. See, it's two things with it, because obviously we got a text message saying, "Bring me my gun." I'm pretty sure Miller seen that and knew what was up. But you get the other support from the attorney. The attorney says Davis left the gun in his back seat. So what is it? Which one is it?
Yeah, because if he said bring me my gun, but if he already told you to come on the way or come pick me up, and the gun's in the car, if he put the gun there, he had to know the gun was in the car then. So if he told Brandon to come get him, he didn't have to ask for the gun. He know, all right, he's coming. My boy gonna be here. My gun in his car. I got it. I'm good. So I don't know, man. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the text messages. I'm sure he has an iPhone or Android, one of the newer phones. I'm sure that there's ways to see what was opened, what was communicated, exactly what time stuff came through, exactly if he opened messages or not. I'm sure it's a way to see that shit. So I'm sure there'll be some more stuff coming out. Excuse me. Hopefully he's not, didn't knowingly bring the gun over there for anything negative to go down.
So I'm just asking you, fan of college basketball, if you were in a situation, should Brandon Miller be allowed to continue to play knowing all this is still underway, in your opinion?
Man, knowing that he's not charged with anything, and they can't charge him with anything, and police say he's a cooperating witness, I don't see why there's a reason why he shouldn't be able to play. If everything he's been saying is, hey, I didn't know what was going down. If he was just happened to be wrong place, wrong time, which is what the coaches said, what the school president said, athletic director, what they have all said. He's a great kid. He did not know this was happening. He did not know the gun was in the car. So if that's the case, and word is they knew that he was involved as far as, you know, having the gun in his vehicle and bringing it to the scene. They knew this back in January, and he's been able to play since then. So if they knew everything that we know now, and they still let him play right after the situation happened, he should still be able to play now, unless more information comes out that leads us to believe that he possibly knew the gun was in the car and brought it over there for some ill will to happen. Until that's been proven, we have to assume he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. As far as him playing, like I said, I'm with you. Like I said, because there's really nothing you can charge a kid with right now, and honestly, that's why he still like I said has his freedom and everything. Because even Alabama Police Department, they're saying there's nothing they can technically charge him with. So, and honestly, it should be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. His fingerprints not on the gun at all. They y'all none of that, you know. So, and also they've been you know, since he's also, I don't know if you mentioned this, he's one of the top prospects in college basketball. One of the I think he's the highest rated player in college basketball, actually, because other top players are not in college basketball. So he's a projected lottery pick for sure, probably a top 10 pick for sure. And NBA GMs and people around NBA are saying this is not hurting the draft stock at all. They're saying they would still love to have him on their team. So that goes to show NBA is very strict on stuff like this, and they take a deep look into shit like this. So if they're not worried yet, I would say it's a good sign for him that hopefully this stays clean for him and he learns from this, you know. And I know it's your teammate, man, but you still have to be able to separate certain people and have to be able to weed out certain people, man. Like there's people like this in NBA, I'm sure as well.
For sure.
That are, you know, stuck in their where they came from hood ways, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to separate yourself from those people, man, because it's not going to bring nothing but harm to you. And this is the second top basketball prospect around this age that we've heard around a gun. Look at Imani Bates. Well, why are these guys around guns? Like, you're top basketball prospects on the verge of making millions of dollars, already making hundreds of thousands of dollars probably in college basketball. Why are you around guns? Why are you around people that want to be around guns? You know, people with these guys need to really get it in their head. Like, and it brings back to John Morant. Why do you want to be a tough guy? Like, why are you trying to be a thug? Why are you trying to prove what are you trying to prove here? Like, you're an elite basketball player. Be that. Don't try to be what you're not. You know, don't put yourself around people that want to be rappers and thugs and that kind of stuff, man. Like, nothing against rappers. All rappers don't want to be thugs, but if you're around people that want to be around drug dealers and people that are carrying guns, that's going to lead you to stuff like this.
Facts. And you stated everything perfectly. Just gotta just grow up, man. Like I said, you're on the cusp of making millions of dollars. You have to make better choices. And even for the Davis kid who probably wasn't even going to make it to the NBA, if we're being honest, bruh, niggas get turned down every day, but you ain't got to go out there and kill nobody because your feelings got hurt. Like that's really what blows me. Because she rejected you, you had to go kill a person. Like that's really blows my mind. That's
messed up. And if you were one of these top guys, if you're gonna put yourself around somebody who's gonna ask you to bring them a weapon, that's the wrong person to be around. Like if I'm a hood nigga and my guy's about to be a top 5 pick, I'm not gonna ask him to bring me a gun. I'm gonna ask somebody else. I'm not gonna put him in that situation. So I don't like, these guys are just, man, I don't know. It's beyond me, bro. It's beyond me. It's beyond me.
And honestly, the only reason this is headline. I mean, we said this over and over, like because he's a top five pick. He's gonna be a lottery pick. That's why it's headline. It's news. Obviously, man, the kid made a poor judgment. If like I said, if there's something any way he knew, like I said, the gun was in the car, because like I said, there are messages out there reportedly, Miller saying, texting Davis said, yeah, the heat is in the, I quote, the heat is in the cap. There's a where is that? And there's a round in the head. So
if that comes out, bro,
I mean,
everything
it's
that
still
he's been
reported.
saying is null and void, man. If he said that shit, man, that's wild, bro.
Yeah.
If man, and it's no way to, like, I mean, I know you can delete messages, but it's no way to really delete messages for real. Like they gonna find that shit if you said that shit.
Yeah.
So that's been reported. That's what they saying he said.
Yes, this is. I'm reading. Let me see if I'm about to just share the screen right now.
I didn't see that. Wow, if he said this, man, he should not be playing. I'll take that back. Everything I back up. I just said, if he said this, he should not be playing.
Tell me. All right. Let me see.
Yeah, we getting there. Might have to zoom in a little bit.
Right here. I'm gonna. I highlight it. Well, obviously the whole thing, the whole first three paragraphs, basically. So, obviously, former Alabama player Darius Miles hitched a ride from Miller to the Strip area. Obviously, that's where the kids hang out. According to Miller's attorney, Jim, Miller brought his gun and left it. Davis brought his gun and left it in the backseat of Miller's car, which was what we said earlier. Miller's attorney alleges his client never saw or handled the gun, which is why he can't be charged with nothing. Miller left. He left the scene to go get something to eat because the line was too long to get to the club. They said Miles texted Miller back to come pick him up about an hour. Miller was on his way back, and then it was around that time where Miller was on his way back. He asked, on his way back to pick up Miles, Miller asked and said, hold on. Miles asked Miller to bring his gun. And according to police testimony, Miller then arrived 2 miles and the Davis location with the gun allegedly in his possession. This is their Miles, according to investigators, told Davis the heat is in the hat and there's one in the head, referring to the gun being present and loaded. It says it is unclear if Miller knew the gun was in his vehicle, and both Alabama and Alabama Athletic Department and Miller's attorney maintained that Miller's arrival at the scene came before the first text requesting a ride. So that's all they're leaning on, the timing of everything.
Damn, well, that leads me to believe he knew the gun was in the car. If he said that, he knew the gun was in the car. Man, this is a very sticky situation.
And obviously right now, like I said, I mean, Miller's doing everything he can to save his future right now. That's all this is. But like I said, from what we just read right there, you knew something. Like I said, even though he didn't handle the gun personally, he didn't physically hand it to him. But if you knew the gun was in your car, he just showed poor judgment. But like I said, one telling him, and then like I said, not trying to like, bro, like
why are you trying to get a gun?
Yeah. What's the reason for it? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, man. But apparently, like I said, they say Alabama knew all this before.
Mm-hmm.
So if they knew this, let him play. Like I said, he should still be able to play. Alabama if I knew this before, I would have been like, no, you're not playing, bro. I would not let him play. If I'm Alabama, I knew this. All before. That's wild.
Alabama knew this, and they said it went to court already, so everybody in court knows all this information.
Yeah, if that guy out, there's no way he's playing. That's wild. if that's the message that he sent back, yeah. Mm-mm.
So that's really all. That's really all they're trying to match up. Like I said, time of it. Where was Miller? Like I said, when the text. That's really what's saving him right now.
That's an ugly situation, man.
Crazy situation for everybody involved, man. The biggest thing, tragic thing is, man, that someone lost their lives in it, unfortunately. That's
the messed up part, man. So RP to that young lady, man.
I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, Miss Harris. I'll just call her Miss Harris. I'm sorry because I'm not pronouncing your first name, but Miss Harris, 23-year-old mother of a 5-year-old boy.
Yeah, man. Sad. Again, our condolences to her friends and family, and I hope justice is served in this case, man, for sure.
Facts, for sure. Nobody's above the law. So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, if Miller had anything, because like you said, if everything what we just read was true about telling him, then he should be held accountable some way, somehow.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the law, says that should happen to him if that's the case here. If that makes him an accomplice to this, hey, so be it. That's what deserves to happen. But if that comes out to be the case that what we just read, he said, then yeah.
But my thing is, one and last thing before we move on, and obviously common sense would tell you he knew Davis would have told Miller why he needed a gun by this time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my thing. If he just brought it to you and he didn't know, like I said, Davis didn't tell him like why do you need it. The why is the big reason.
Yeah.
Like you could told me, yeah, he's in the car. There's one in the clip. But if I don't know what you're about to do, like maybe you just said like maybe you felt like maybe from Miller's perspective, somebody was threatening Davis, somebody's about to come shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe he felt Miller thought Davis' life was in danger. So I said, man, it's a lot of it's sticky, man. It's messy. At the end of the day, man, I'm glad Davis and the accomplice to Davis are locked up in jail, and we'll get time. So
yep, hope justice served, man. That's all I can say.
Facts.
RP to that young lady, man.
Facts. This is Down to the Wire 513 Sports and Spirits Friday. Make sure y'all tap in with us. Everything Down to the Wire 513. Give us a follow. Everything Down to the Wire 513. All right, man. To the Shield, to the National Football League. LeSean McCoy is facing a lot of backlash, and rightfully so.
As he should, man.
Rightfully so. If y'all not aware, Eric Bieniemy is now the offensive coordinator and / assistant head coach of the Washington Commanders.
Congrats, man. Congrats, EB.
Yes, sir. And LeSean McCoy basically, not saying that he didn't deserve that move, but he felt like the only reason Bieniemy was being successful was because of who he was with in Kansas City. Mahomes,
basically saying Bieniemy is not good.
Pretty much.
Saying he's not good. Saying he's not a good coordinator.
Pretty much. And he got called out a lot. A lot of his former teammates called him out for it, as rightfully so.
Yeah, facts, man. I mean, a lot of y'all, we had a short, go up on YouTube if you haven't, go check it out, where Shady was sounding off on Airbnb. And a lot of y'all was in the comments, so some people were saying he's tripping. Most people were saying he's tripping, which he was. Some of y'all were saying why people are not taking this as truth. When you have as many players that have come out, even after he said it, but even before, has come out to Eric Bieniemy's, come out to defend him on why he's not getting these jobs, to how great of an offensive mind he is. That's why this is null and void to me. It was all personal. It seems like Shady was taking something back very personal when he played there. And according to some of the players,
yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously, we've been in this camp for Eric Bieniemy should have been a head coach job, or at least had more offers becoming the head coach. The fact that he hasn't received an offer to become a head coach, I believe, in like 2 years, is wild.
Crazy, man.
Like I said, you got former teammates and former guys who played with McCoy and under Bieniemy calling him out. You got Pat Mahomes throughout the years, even from going back to even when they won their first Super Bowl, saying Bieniemy should be a head coach somewhere. Andy Reid saying the same thing. And now you got LeSean McCoy coming out here saying it's not Bieniemy. I said that sounds like a little bit of hate to me. And like I said, I believe it was Tyreek Hill. Like, yeah, like they called him out for it because you didn't play much in Kansas City.
Yeah,
Maybe
they said EB told him tuck that ball.
Yeah.
EB told him tuck that ball. So I remember that ball out there a while. They said when Shady got kind of salty at him. But yeah, he wasn't playing. And they said on the way out, they told him, there's the reason when you're bringing you back, man. We don't think we don't think you are what you once were when we drafted you. As what Andy Reid was telling him. Shady got drafted to Philly when Andy Reid was the head coach there. Mm-hmm. Brought him back, to Kansas City. Brought him back on there. He said, "Hey, you ain't the same player no more, bro."
Which was true because he was jumping. He was jumping from team because he just left Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't showing no signs of being the Philadelphia Shady in Buffalo. Andy Reid just gave you a choice because gave you basically a lifeline because he drafted you.
Yeah, he drafted you. He's like, "Hey, man, that's my guy. Me go get Shady up and get him a ring. He got you a ring for it."
Well, a ring, and then let me see if he really does have anything left in the tank. And if the guy who drafted you told you don't have nothing left in the tank, obviously you ain't have nothing left.
So he still went and got a ring in Tampa, but still,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You had a good career, bro. You got to just be grateful for what you had. And this just seemed like a lot of hate, man. You should have thought twice about this. It made you look very bad. So I actually like him on Speak, man. He does a pretty good job on there, typically giving a pretty unbiased opinion. He's was a great player in his time, so he gives a great perspective on the game and on just the standpoint of some of the topics they talk about. But this was just a very, very bad look for him, man.
Very bad timing. And I've been on record saying maybe it is a reason Bieniemy hasn't been the head coach. Maybe people know he's just a good coordinator, but you have to at least give him a chance to prove it.
Let him show you why he's not the guy. And I thought maybe it was interviews maybe, but I watched the press conference. If you go, we got part of the press conference up on our page. One of our most recent videos. Go check it out. He gives a great first impression to me. He speaks great. He speaks like he can lead some guys. He makes it like makes me hyped up to go play. So he sounds like to me. I'm not a football player. I haven't sat in the locker room, and had to have a coach me like him. But from my standpoint, looking at that interview, I don't see anything outside of the norm. And I see from any other football coach I see get up on the mic and talk. He sounds better than most of the other guys to me. So maybe it's something else. I don't know. I thought maybe he wasn't a good interview personally, but
who knows? But by the end of the day, he deserves an opportunity. And if he becomes a head coach and he stinks at it, okay, at least we could say he had the opportunity to prove himself as a head coach.
Facts.
And like I said, we've been on the show. There's some guys. Shout out Hugh Jackson, no disrespect. Josh McDaniels, Todd Bowles. It's some guys who are just meant to be Nathaniel Hackett. It's some guys who are just meant to be coordinators. They can't handle the responsibility of becoming a head coach.
They just ain't got it. Man.
I think it'll be
it's not wrong with that. It's not wrong with that. There are some great coordinators out there. It's not a bad thing just to be a coordinator. He can get very rich being a coordinator, be very successful.
Facts.
I'm sure Eric Bieniemy is very rich and successful, and he's still not a head coach. And I'm sure the job he got now came with a pretty big pay bump. So,
your assistant head coach now.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's very well taken care of.
So yeah, I just for me, just poor timing from Shady to come out with these comments. That's all.
Facts. I'll agree.
That's all. From Eric Bieniemy versus LeSean McCoy to Pete Carrol versus Russell Wilson.
Man,
this
came out of nowhere today. This story came out of nowhere. I think it was the Athletic article came out.
Mm-hmm.
Reported that back in February of last year, Russell Wilson wanted Pete Carrol and the GM, I forget the GM's name, John, I forget his last name, but Russell, I'm gonna look at the tweet here. Wanted both those guys fired. Pete Carrol,
John Schneider,
legendary people there in Seattle. Russ came out, disputed that claim, said, I love Pete. He was a father figure to me, and John believed in me and drafted me as well. I never wanted them fired. All any of us wanted was to win. I always have respect for them and love for Seattle. That's what he said. I'm calling cap on that. I'm calling cap on that, brother.
He wanted one or two. I ain't gonna say both. He wanted one of the two fired.
Yep.
I mean, because we was even on this show when Russ was looking for a new contract. Get him an offensive line. Get him an offensive line. He needs an offensive line up in Seattle. Obviously, I don't think that. Obviously, that's not Pete Carroll's decision to go out there and sign these guys. So, general manager. I believe he made one of the general manager fired. Pete Carroll, I not so much, but he wanted one of the two fired.
Yeah, I think he wanted one of the two fired, and I think he also wanted another offensive mind to come in. I'm not sure if he wanted Pete fired, maybe he wanted Pete demoted. I don't know. I'm not sure what he wanted. Maybe he wanted Pete moved up to the office. Like, hey, I want Pete in the box. I don't want Pete down here no more. I want it. Well, reportedly he wanted Sean Payton. Apparently, he got him now.
In Seattle?
Apparently he wanted Sean Payton in Seattle. That's what the word on the streets was this morning when this came out. He wanted them fired and he wanted to bring Sean Payton in. So I'm not sure, bro. I think, like I said, I think it's definitely cap. He wanted at least one of them fired, if not both. And the fact that he thought he had this kind of juice is crazy to me.
I mean, realistically, he did for real. I mean, because
they would have fired him and not traded him. And that's what I think is cap. When they traded him, I thought this is totally cap. When they traded him, that showed me that they picked Pete Carroll over him.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I would just say he didn't have to. They was like, no, we're not doing that because
we're not paying you.
They were
paying you. No, I don't think Seattle would have gave him the deal he just got in Denver. I don't think they would have gave it to him, bro. I don't think they wanted to.
Well, I don't think they would have had a choice.
They would have. I don't think they wanted to. They might have been forced to play the. Am I going to tag him game? Am I going to pay him game? But I don't think they would have wanted to get him that 165 guaranteed.
My thing in Seattle, I feel like he had the power. I feel like he had to say so, but honestly, they said no. We're not about to get rid of our head coach and GM because that's a whole. That means we had to bring a whole new regime in.
That's a lot.
You have to have a whole another test year. You're not getting any younger, so you would have had to wasted a year learning this new system, this new offense, and then hoping in 2020. Well, it's what his first year in jail, so he was hoping in 2023 would have been his first year thriving.
Yeah.
And the way San Francisco and them is balling right now, you ain't got time to rebuild and learn nothing new.
Nah, you don't, man.
Ultimately, like I said, I feel like he had a choice and say, okay, trade me to Denver then. I feel like he chose where he wanted to go. So that's why I say I feel like Wilson had some power, but ultimately ownership was on the side of Pete Carroll and the GM John Schneider. And honestly, right now, looking at it, it works out best for Seattle because right now obviously they're still long way from Super Bowl, but they're not a complete rebuild right now.
Facts. That's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he had that kind of power. Maybe at one point he did, but at last he definitely didn't last February.
And then honestly, you can't say he had. Well, it's kind of contradicting myself, but for him to have all that power is like, okay, Russ, if you having all the shit like we see in Denver, I guarantee the same shit we see in Denver about how him having his own office, having his own trainer, all in the facilities. I guarantee that shit was happening in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So Seattle's looking like, Russ, we already giving you your own office. We already giving you
parking spot and all this and all that. Let your personnel come in here.
And now you asking us to have a change in coach.
Who you want to bring to? Yeah, it's not happening.
Nah, we're not giving you no.
You so go.
I believe they came to a deal that's like, okay, we're not giving you this, but we'll let you decide which team you want to go. You want to get traded to, and we'll work this
Yeah,
out.
you want us to give you all this and pay you all that guaranteed money, bro? Like, come on, hell no, you ain't even that good no more, bro.
They had enough of him pushing them around.
You're not even that good no more, dog. Like, it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. I think that's what it came down to. They like, hey, man, he's good. He's not that good no more. We can rebound quicker from having a lesser quarterback than having a great quarterback and everything else be shit because he's just toxic to be around. I think that's what he's getting to. I'm not. He wasn't there yet, but I think that's what he's getting to.
I know disrespect to Geno. I mean, obviously I believe he's a step down below Russ, but he's still able to get the job done.
Yeah.
I don't think Geno alone. Well, I'm gonna say this: if you had to rely on Geno Smith by himself to win Super Bowl, it's not happening. But I feel like if you gave Geno Smith the 49ers defense, if you put Geno Smith on 49ers, they can get Super Bowl.
They can get there. Definitely.
Who knows? But they can get Super Bowl.
They can definitely get there.
So
definitely get there. I agree with that.
So yeah, man, this is we thought this cycle was over with. I'm not sure. I'm gonna Google right quick. Do Seattle play Denver again this year? I want this every year now.
Yeah, I need this game every year.
I want this every year now.
Every year, man. Because it just gets better and better, man.
This is wild.
Rush shit gets crazier and crazier, man. And Sean Payton said there ain't gonna be none of that shit going on this year in Denver. He ain't gonna have his personnel in there. It's gonna be team coaches only, team personnel only. No, none of the office shit, Russ. You're gonna go back to being a regular player, bro.
Nah, they don't play on this year. Damn. But yeah, they don't play on this year. So, but yeah,
I'm sure there'll be some more stuff coming out this year. Or some more shots being had, some more petty shit being said.
I was one of saying Russ was washed, and honestly, I think more of that for me was just because of Nathaniel Hackett. And Nathaniel Hackett's gone. Russ, I'll give you the first half of this season. If you don't do shit the first half of this upcoming season, then and you still look like you did last year, you're done. You're washed.
Yeah, I think the NFL think that about him too.
Well, honestly,
ain't going.
He ain't going. But the thing, I think what was his deal with 4 years or 5?
I think it was 4. I mean, they're stuck with him for at least 2 more years until they can get out of the deal without killing their cap because he's
right. Right. We'll see. Like I said, Russ, I'm giving you first half of next year's season to prove us wrong, brother.
Wish you the best of luck, man.
For sure, because you got weapons up in there.
Yeah, and now you got a coach too. So
I'm gonna be saying free Jerry and Judy. All right, man. Well, from we're gonna jump to the association real fast before we end this Sports Affairs Friday. By the way, little side note before we talk about the association. It is official. I just seen the headline. We will have Tank versus Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
April 22nd. Yep, April 22nd.
All right.
In Las Vegas at a catch weight of 136.
They could have waited a couple weeks and did Cinco de Mayo.
Nah, because Tank might be going away.
Oh, damn.
Tank might be going away. So like this might be his last fight before. Because he pleaded guilty to a contest back in.
Oh, come on, Tank.
Yeah, Tank might be doing some time, bro.
Shit. Well,
so,
go ahead and get the last little payday in, bro. Before you go sit down.
That's big payday for you.
Yeah, go sit down, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that is official at Las Vegas. So
let's go.
And then honestly, you can't do Cinco de Mayo. That's Canelo's day. You're not outdrawing Canelo. You're not outdrawing Canelo.
I mean, if he gonna have a fight, they ain't announced something yet.
No, Canelo got to fight that weekend.
Oh, he got to fight that weekend?
In his hometown of Mexico.
Oh, okay. It's all right. It's going to go up there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. To the association, man. This week, the Atlanta Hawks, they fired head coach Nate McMillan. Trey Young did it again.
Coach Killer.
Does it again.
Coach Killer, Trey Young, man. And this was a good story when they hired Nate. Remember when they hired him, man? It was a good story. They just fired who they just fired? I forget the last coach they had. I forget. They just fired the last coach. Nate was the interim coach. They came in. We was like, they got to get next job, man. They got these guys playing hard to turn the season around. And now look at it, a year and a half, 2 years later, turmoil ensued. I saw this coming actually earlier this season when Trae Young didn't play one of the games. He didn't start, so he didn't come to the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this coming. I say they're going to trade Trae Young, which is not going to happen, or they're going to have to fire Nate McMillan. And sure enough, a few months later, they fired Nate McMillan. Great coach. Hate to see him go.
Scapegoated.
Maybe I definitely scapegoat. I think this definitely was a not all his fault, but maybe he is getting a little bit out of touch with the players. Maybe. I will put that part out there. I did hear some of his practices do be a little bit kind of intense for these days in the NBA, bro. All these kind of games happening, you already got too much load management going. You can't be having hard practice all the time. So if that's happening, he got to kind of scale that back a little bit, kind of go with the times a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as being a good hard-nosed coach, nothing wrong with hard coaching, man. Nothing wrong with setting boundaries and being holding players accountable. Well, I think that's what he was doing, Trae Young, and he didn't like it. So here we seen it again. AAU culture coming in, ruining the NBA.
I would say, I mean, I'm partially agree with you. As you do, like I said, you do got to scale it. You do have to scale like some practices back a little bit. But I feel like that, and you may reference to it. That just comes from the different generation. Like Nick Millen grew up in, like I said, in the old days where you practice hard,
full tape.
yeah. And like I said, you got this era generation where you say, I want to load management. I feel like I don't need practice, want to take days off type shit. So I feel like that's where they clashed at, man. But honestly, hell, maybe they needed to practice hard because 29-30.
Something ain't working.
We projected once they made that move for DeJounte Murray, we said, at least I said, at best a 4 seed in the East. At best. And it's not looking good right now.
I wasn't in that move. Well, not the move, but just team in general. Team fit. I wasn't super sold, but I mean they should be better than they are.
For sure.
Definitely.
What do you think of Quinn Snyder being the front runner for the head coach? And do you think they should hire him right now or just ride the season out with the interim and then bring Quinn Snyder in during the offseason?
If I'm Quinn Snyder, I'm not sure I'm taking this job. I think it's a great hire for them. If he would take the job, this is a slam dunk hire for them. I think he would be a great fit down there. But if I'm him, I'm not taking this job. I'm cool on. I've seen too much turmoil down there going with Trae Young. I'm staying away from it. I'm cool on that job. I wouldn't take it, at least right now. I will wait until I would make them. I would say, hey, if you want me to take the job, I'm interested, but I'm not interested right now. Let me see how you guys in the season. I want to see how Trae in the season. I want to see how he takes leadership responsibilities on from here on out, rest of these 25 games before I take this job on. Because if I come in here and he starts being a bad camper, I'm gonna say get him out of here. If I'm the head coach, and if y'all ain't gonna do that, I ain't taking the job. So if I'm him, I'm saying I'm interested. I'm waiting to see Trae Young take a maturity jump the rest of these last 25 games.
By the way, just looked at Mike Budenholzer was the guy before me.
Mike Budenholzer.
From under that Popovich tree. He was the coach of the NBA Coach of the Year, 2014, 2015.
Look at him now.
Yeah. So if I'm Quinn, I'm not taking this mid-season right now because I feel like right now you try to hop in right now and implement everything you want to implement. It's not going to work well. You may easily end up playing yourself out of the playing game right now, which where they're at right now. So let the interim take over the rest of the year. And like you said, see how Trae and DeJounte and everybody get along. Now, like I said, Hawks, if they want to hire him, cool.
For them, it'll be who's going to get a coach now to get the guy they want now.
Yeah. If they want to hire him, okay, cool. But if I'm Quinn Snyder, I am not stepping foot on that sideline until next year.
I'm cool.
I'll be in the office. I'll build relationships with the guys who I see is going to be here long term. But I'm not coaching this year.
Yeah, because he'll get a job this summer anywhere else becomes open because he's going to be a top candidate anywhere else. So he has to put that in his mind too. All right, do I want to take this job or I want to wait out to see what's going to happen anywhere else. There's going to be some. It's going to be some good jobs out there probably open, where you'll have a good leader, a good young star, or a good young core you can work with. Now, if he's look at the landscape of the jobs that may become open and he's not too impressed, then hey, if you want to take this job in the summer, depending on if you know, okay, even if X, Y, Z that job comes out, I'm still going to take this job. Then if you him, take the job now. But if you're thinking if a team out there comes available and I want the team more, I'm waiting 100%.
How much? Because I'm looking and I knew Landry Fields was a GM down there. I didn't know Kyle Korver was assistant GM.
Did not know that either.
How much do you feel that it's former players siding with the players more than sort of coach? Because I think that kind of played a factor into it. I mean, obviously, because you're not going to get rid of Trae Young. I mean, that's your franchise right there. So you're not going to get rid of him. But getting rid of Nate McMillan right now, I feel like that was kind of a quick deal, quick process. Like it happened too fast.
It was a bad look. It looked like you voted to your star.
Yes.
That's why I want to take the job. It's like Trae Young controls way too much of this franchise way too soon. He hasn't done anything yet. He got to the conference final one time. I'm not impressed, bro. Like I'm not giving you the keys to this franchise like that. Like you were barely an all-star every year.
Wasn't one this year.
He wasn't one this year, and he missed it a couple years ago too. Like you're barely an all-star. Like I don't know who you think you are, bro, but no, you're not. You're not Luka Doncic, bro. You're not.
How much do you think they regret that move right now?
I would be if I was a Hawks fan, I'd be pissed off, bro. Highly upset. Because this guy, I ain't saying Trae Young is not good. He's a very good NBA basketball player, but he's not a best player on the championship team level good. Not saying he can't get there, but he's not. I don't think he's even close to that yet.
Yeah, man. It's I said that disappointing year for Atlanta, especially coming in. I said got DeJounte Murray, AC currently in the East. Very disappointing year. Trae Young's I feel like he's basically the Russell Wilson of the NBA right now.
Yeah, it's looking ugly right now, man. Look like a straight coach killer.
Straight coach killer. This is so. Right now, I think the Hawks they'll be fighting. I think they'll be fighting for a playing game. I think they'll get in. They'll be an 8th, 7th seed, but they'll get knocked out in the first round. Right now. Yeah,
and it'll be disappointing.
For sure.
It'll be disappointment, man, for sure.
So, all right, we'll see. I think that's all the topics we have for this week.
Yeah, I think that's all we have, man. I think that's all we had. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, bet. Well, one thing we'll start doing. Well, while we can do it, because college basketball season's almost over, and I know. Yeah. I guess we could just give a few people something to watch over the weekend. It could be anything. It could be anything sports related.
Let's do that. Let's take a look.
College basketball, NBA, XFL, WWE.
Watch XFL, man, for sure. I watched XFL last weekend. I watched like the last quarter of one of the games. I don't know, but very entertaining, man. They got some very interesting rules. I like the kickoff rule where you can't the opposing team and the kicking team can't start running at each other until the team catch the ball. Mm-hmm. I love that rule. Cuts down on concussions, they say. I like watch XFL.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the rule changes I love the instead of onside kick, you got the option you get to complete a 4th and 15.
I like that.
I love that rule.
I love the extra point rule too, where you can get more points depending on where you down the ball from. I love that, man. That's a great rule too. They need to implement that into the NFL. So you kind of you get 3-pointer instead of get a traditional field goal 3-pointer. You can get a 3-pointer extra point. I think that's a great rule.
So yeah, XFL. I said obviously it's not the NFL, but it's still some. I feel like still some good football being played.
Yeah, you still got some top quarterbacks. You still got some elite talent there. You still got some pretty good quarterbacks, even though they watch the NFL standards, but they still better than anybody you gonna see in the park throwing a football. So it's very and it's competitive, man, and it's fun. So shout out to The Rock and I forget his ex-wife's name, but shout out to both of them. They
I knew that lady looked familiar.
Yeah, his ex-wife.
Hey,
ex-wife and business manager, so she handled all his business. He made him a movie star. Yeah, so shout out to her, man.
Shout out to The Rock. I don't think no other man can do that with his ex-wife.
Nah, she made him a
hey,
100 millionaire. He's already a millionaire. She made him even bigger. Got him out of that WWE shit and got him just into the real business world, into the real money making machines.
Well, he did. He did pay the way for everybody else.
Yeah, he paid the way.
Conversation for another day. But I'll go ahead and start. For me, my must watch event, easy for me to say, for the weekend. No, it's not Jake Paul versus whoever.
I about to say it's a 50 say Jake Paul versus Fury.
But I am pissed that I did not know. I did not see that.
I'm watching that fight.
This next week, John Jones returning to UFC.
Oh yeah, I seen that. They've been proving that pretty heavy. I seen that.
No, I just seen a commercial for like 2 days ago. I was like,
I saw like maybe a month ago for the first time, man. They've been putting it pretty heavy now. Been pushing it this week pretty heavy.
Well, I am excited for that. So that'll be for next week. But for this week, I'm going Indiana at Purdue. Great college basketball game. One future NBA draft pick. Well, potential two, but
possibly two.
Two really good college stars going at it. Trace Jackson Davis versus Zach Edey. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Trace Jackson Davis is pretty good, man. I don't like his game like that, but he's pretty good, man.
He remind me of a more. This about to be disrespectful because at least this guy I'm about to say won a national championship. A more athletic Psycho T. But
I'll give you that. Because I didn't like Psycho T's game at all. He was a beast though, but his game was so ugly and so rugged.
That's what Trey Jackson Davis reminds me of.
I like that. He way more, like you said, more athletic. And more athletic. Psycho T was nice in college though, man. But my must-watch game of the week, man, I'm going number 8 Texas at number 3 Baylor, or number 9 Baylor. My bad, number 9 Baylor. That's what I'm going with. Two top 10 teams going at it. Like I said, Baylor got a nice guard. I forget his name. Can't think of his name right now, but they got a nice guard.
George. I know his last name George.
Yeah, I think Keontae George.
Yeah.
We'll be playing NBA basketball. We'll be NBA guard. So if you want to see NBA level game in college basketball, which is why I like watching college basketball. Like I said a couple of weeks ago in the show, the reason why college basketball is a little down because shot making just ain't there. But if you want to see shot making, watch Keontae George. He will be NBA guard. Probably top 5 pick, top 10 pick. So watch them for sure.
I think that's going to be a good guard battle because Texas got a guard on their team.
Yeah,
probably not going to make much noise in the NBA, but at least for college right now, Marcus Carr. He like that they'll go back and forth. That's going to be a good guard.
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup. And if you're interested, we talked about Alabama starts they hit the show off. They play 2:00 Arkansas at Alabama. If you want interested in, I'm sure they'll be talking about the whole situation there. So if you want to check that out. Another top 25 matchup, we got St. Mary's at Gonzaga.
Late night.
Always a good one. So, 10:00 Eastern. So if you don't watch that one, check it out too.
Bro, college basketball is down when Gonzaga is struggling. This late in the year, like Gonzaga's always around the top 5. I mean, right now they're at least these
last decade at least.
Yeah. Like right now they're ranked 12 and that's a down year for them.
Yeah, it's a down year. That's like back in even back in the early 2000s, they was like dogs, like Adam Morrison and shit. They've always been dogs. Always had dogs, man.
And it's fucked up. If somebody told me Timmy can come back for another year,
he better not, bro. He better not. He better not go to the NBA, please. I mean, you're not going to be that good in the NBA because your skill set just
go overseas
ain't there for NBA basketball. Like just post players ain't there no more. But go to the NBA, Timmy, please.
Go overseas.
Yeah, go overseas. But I mean, I ain't mad. If you get money, you're in California, you're comfortable.
That's true.
I ain't mad, bro. I ain't mad at them, bro. I'll take it back. Get your money, bro. People say go to the NBA because I want players to get their money. Get your money in college, bro. Stay happy.
If you get money in college and be the big man on campus,
why not? I'm saying all for years, brother. Man, I'm turning up.
So yeah, I ain't mad. Get your money when you can get it.
Man, it gotta be tough though. You probably want to get a big mansion, but you gotta be on campus kind of all the time, so you gotta be close to campus. Like, damn, man, I don't know. Gotta be weird. Good problem to have though. It's a good problem to have.
I just hope Timmy ain't in a relationship right now, or anybody who's big man on campus and taking NIL money. I hope y'all ain't in a relationship because y'all
crazy for him, man. Probably going crazy.
All right,
imagine, man.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Sports and Spirits Friday. Good slate of college basketball on tomorrow. I said we got Tank Davis. We got Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia in about a month or 2 months. My bad, April 22nd. XFL, if you just want to watch some football. Yeah, so good weekend, good sports weekend. Baseball is back too. If people care about spring training games, I mean.
Hey, something, man. And like T said, you got Jake Paul fight too. So 2:00 tomorrow if y'all don't watch that.
I think it's Sunday.
I think it's tomorrow.
I thought it was Sunday.
Thought it was tomorrow. If it's Sunday, I'm mistaken. But I thought it was tomorrow, 2:00.
Jake Paul.
What's his name?
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, 2:00.
February 26th. Yep.
All right, Sunday at 2:00. Y'all don't watch Jake Paul fight, man. He said he guaranteed knockout 4th round or earlier.
Yeah, 4th round. So
that's what he said, man. This is the first pro boxer that he's fought. And they also made a bet. Apparently now it's winner take all. So if Jake Paul wins the fight, Tommy Fury gets none of the purse money, and vice versa.
I ain't betting that. I need some.
Jake Paul shouted out, and Tommy Fury didn't say shit. His daddy was like, "Deal." I was like, "Pop, chill, bro, chill, nah, nigga. I want this money regardless."
Yeah, nah, shit, fuck it. Yeah, nah.
I'm trying to win, but bro, just in case we do lose, I want to get paid, bro. What the fuck?
I need something, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going, bro.
So yeah, man, good weekend all around, man. But if none of that interests you, then hey, just enjoy time doing whatever you want to do, spending time with family, going out in town, whatever you want to do. If your birthday weekend, just have fun and be safe with it.
Turn up and be safe.
For sure. So down to the wire, 513 Sports and Spirits Friday for the good brother Flyman Rand. Josh Doc Evans, where he said on Wednesday. He said he'll be on this year. So
he said it. Asked me as soon as I'll be on. I was like, yeah, he gonna be on.
So tune in every Friday to find out which episode he will be on. He said this year. So, but with that being said, man, Pete Carrol Bland. Make sure y'all tap in with everything down to the wire. 513 Google is the easiest way to find us. And man, until Wednesday about 8:45, where we do our live podcast. Man, y'all have a safe, blessed weekend, and be safe. We out.
Be safe, people. Peace.